Motivation is lying to you. Stop waiting to feel ready and just put that work in. Let's get into it.
Yeah, put that work in. That's the topic. So
A lot-
basically, what were you gonna say? Something?
I was gonna say a lot of people think in order to get something done that you gotta be motivated and you gotta wait till you're motivated to get it done. When in reality, that's what's holding you back.
Yeah, motivation is holding you back. For real. Like, people watch, these YouTube videos, these Goggins videos, that people make, the motivational Goggins videos, and they get excited about something and they feel so passionate and they want to go out and do something, and then they realize when it's time to do the work, that feeling is gone. What are you gonna put on a David Goggins video every time you gotta get something done?
Right. When that passion is gone, are you still gonna put that work in?
And that is what makes you a winner.
Yeah.
The winners put the work in no matter what, because what really gets you there is
Self-discipline.
discipline.
Yeah. You're not always gonna be motivated. Stuff is gonna happen in your life where you feel like it's not working, can't keep going. Stuff like you already know, but what really is gonna make you a winner, like Jalen said, is when you can push through those times, and even when you're not motivated, you still put the same work in, the same amount of effort in, and you continue to hustle.
100%, because you're going to definitely run into challenges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to question, like, is it even worth it? Like,
What am I doing
is
this
this is this even working?
Yeah.
The work you put in, most of the time, you don't see immediate results. You know what I'm saying? Like with the YouTube stuff that we're doing right now, it's like we're talking to like freaking 3 people. Like,
Yeah.
hi mom. Like,
Yeah, this is something we gotta, stick by too. But motivation alone is not gonna get you where you want to be, because if you're motivated all the time, like you're
not human, bro.
Yeah, like
you're not even
you're a different
human.
specimen. Because if you're not going through things where it makes you feel like, yeah, you're just not human. Like it's not realistic.
Yeah, because emotions are usually fleeting for us. You feel happy for a period, and then you feel sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna have times where things get hard,
Yeah.
and you feel like you can't do it, and you feel demotivated to do anything. You feel stuck,
Yeah.
frankly, and those are the times where you just put your head down and you do the work because it has to get done. You know what I mean? It's
Find purpose in what you're doing.
that's discipline.
Discipline.
It's
Yeah.
just sticking to something,
Yep.
being consistent, relentless grind and discipline is what's going to get you there. Not the I'm motivated or I'm so passionate. Even if you're doing something that you're passionate about, there's going to be things on that journey that you do not want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to start that business there's going to be paperwork. There's going to be licensing. There's going to be zoning. There's going to be all types of obstacles that are going to be so mind-numbingly boring.
Yep.
So make you feel so unpassionate about what you're doing. Like, it's just the work has to get done. So the discipline is just like you don't even, it's almost like not even thinking. Like you're gonna feel like you're gonna hear those thoughts that are like, maybe I could chill. Maybe I could take my foot off the gas. I worked enough. I mean, all these voices that go on in your head saying that, even people putting off their dreams, saying, yeah, I'll do that in a year. You know what I mean? I got time. You know what I mean? I'm not going to record today. I mean, there's always tomorrow. No, there is no tomorrow, because you could die any day and then it would be over.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anything could happen. You could just go your whole life saying tomorrow, and then you'll be freaking.
And there's gonna be a point
You'll
where
be done.
Yeah, you'll be done. There's gonna be a point where it's just gone. And I feel like a good example that I can say about this is if you've been in the gym for over a certain amount of time, over a couple years, you know, when you first get in the gym, you might be doing it for, you know, to see progress and, you know, whatever reason you're doing it. But a lot of people get in the gym because they want to change the way they look, you know, their body. But later down the line, you realize that, you know, when you get that progress, you know, and you see yourself start to change, that, you know, the progress slows up and the reason you're doing it starts to change, you know,
Yes.
especially if you stay consistent. You start to realize that the reason you're doing it is the things it's teaching you, the discipline it brings, the consistency it brings to your life, what it does for your mental.
Yes.
You know, if somebody got content with the way they looked and then stopped, you know, that's where, you know, you're doing it for the wrong reasons again, you know?
Yeah,
And,
because and I relate this, not to cut you off, but I relate this to myself. You know, when I first got in the gym, just like Devin said, it was exciting. It was motivating. Doing weight and getting those newbie gains, and you're getting stronger every week, and freaking you're learning new exercises. You know what I mean? And now we're at the point where I've been lifting for, I think I said this the other day, what, 11 years?
Yeah.
11 years. I've been lifting since I was 13, 14 years old. Like 13.
Yeah.
Beginning of 8th grade. And now I'm 24, and the weight I do is pretty much the weight I do, and it only changes if my body weight changes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I pretty much just about, I mean, I could probably squeeze a little bit more gains out of my body, but without steroids, this is pretty much my capabilities. You know what I mean? So, when I go to the gym, I mean, it's almost like, I know I could get stronger, but it's so little, so slow that you're not like overly motivated. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
not nearly as exciting.
it's just the way of life at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, this is what I do. I lift because when I don't lift, I feel off. I feel weird. I don't feel like myself. And if I don't lift for a certain amount of time, I'm going to revert back to my old self. And I think it's the same with whatever you want to do. Like, if you put in that work and you're consistent, you're going to see the results. You know what I mean? And then at some point, you're like, it's just a way of life. It just turns into, this is what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at some point your mindset has to change because, like you said, many people have lifted in their lives. You know, you talk to older people, and they talk about how they looked when they were younger, like what they lifted when they were younger. But they got to a point, and I'm not saying things happen in people's lives where I guess you might have to stop, but a lot of people that, you know, stop, I feel like it's because, you know, that excitement for it is gone. You know, they find purpose in other things, or they don't keep it in their routine. You know, and they don't realize what they're actually doing it for. And this is just lifting. I can make another example. I feel like another example is when you hear, like, athletes say, like, how they lost love for the game.
Yeah.
But they still, like, you know, you still got to be consistent in order to go somewhere. Like, you can't just, it's like you put all that work in and then you just
stop.
And then you just stop.
I'm not playing
because,
no more.
Yeah, you got to realize that it's not always going to be exciting. It's not always going to be a fun journey. But you got to remember why you're doing it in the first place. You know, why you originally started it. Where you want to be, where you think it's going to take you.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
and then when you're in those times, there are things you can think of to make you remember. You have to remind yourself why you started in the first place, and just push through and just do the work. You know what I mean? You gotta have you gotta have grit to win. Most people quit when they reach that first obstacle, or that, you know what I mean, and it gets too hard, then they're like, that's it. I guess it's not for me.
yeah.
But the people that are successful, they will never give up. They'd rather die.
Yeah.
And that's how you gotta be. Like, I'd rather die than not put this work in.
For sure.
Like, and then it becomes almost like addictive and enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a way of life, you know. But in the beginning, like, you're not always gonna feel motivated every day, for sure. I mean, even Goggins, you know what I mean? You go on a run, like, You go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, we could take a rest day. But then in my head, I'm like, that's the weakness in you. You know what I mean? That's just like, you want to be comfortable. You gotta put that work in.
Yeah, comfort is a big thing. You can't. I don't even want to be comfortable because at this point, you know, if you want to see yourself achieve things, you know, like a lot of people think they deserve something.
You don't deserve anything.
You don't deserve nothing.
That's the number one lesson in life. That's like once you realize that, it's like, then it makes you wanna put the work in.
You have to earn it. Yeah, you don't deserve nothing.
You don't deserve anything without work. And once you put that work in, then I say you deserve it. Only through the work, not through just because like you're born, you know what I mean, entitled to anything.
Yeah. And that goes into vices too, like thinking you when the weekend comes or you worked your 9 to 5 all week.
I deserve a glass of wine.
Yeah.
I deserve this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just, it's weakness.
You know, if you're content,
Straight
and you know,
weakness.
and we're speaking on people that have the mindset that we have, that want to, you know, that work actually makes you feel happier than, you know, not putting that work in.
And let me say this too, because I struggle with that. I don't want to sit here and talk down to anyone. Like I'm talking to myself right now.
Yeah.
Put that work in, bro. You know what I mean? If I'm talking to myself, like, we're starting this journey, but I've been talking about it for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, every excuse in the book of why I can't do it. And we're thinking that I did enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
I worked enough. I did a lot. You know what I mean? But once you're content, it's over. Like,
You're lost. It's gone.
You have to relentlessly just go. Otherwise, like, you gotta like outwork. I don't even know how to like.
You gotta like try to
Articulate,
outwork
you gotta-
yourself. Like everything you want to do, you gotta try to do that and more. You know, you should like.
To get ahead in life, you can't let, if you just work just enough, you know, put these 40 hours in. I turn down the overtime, I just work 40s. I hear people at work telling me something, I
don't work Saturdays.
I don't work Saturdays, you know what I mean? I just work 40s, like.
I don't do side jobs.
I don't do side work, you know what I mean? I'm just like, alright, cool. But we out here getting them, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta go. You gotta go. And you gotta outwork life. And then people complain about, you know what I mean, stuff being expensive and the position they're in. But it's like, bro, you're not putting that work in.
Exactly.
You're not trying hard enough.
That's the biggest thing. If you're not content with the position you're in and you're not putting that extra work in, again, you're doing yourself a disservice, and that's a big thing.
Now, there's different seasons of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is for everyone, like, work.
Yeah.
Like I'm a psycho. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, if you're like 45 and you put in the work and you're comfortable and you want to reap those benefits and you reap, you're in a different season of life.
Mm-hmm.
But the season we're in, it's like, if you're not content where you're at, do something about it.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody gonna hand it to you.
Don't just wait around. Don't just, like, before, again, we're talking to ourselves. We were smoking every day.
Smoking, drinking on the weekends. I was going out partying. You know what I mean? I worked today. It was a hard day at work. Let me lay down and watch TV and cuddle with my girl, and which is cool, like, but
then you got problems. You're like, oh, I gotta, this is, I don't got no.
But then you're not happy.
So what are those things doing for you that you're doing in that moment? You gotta think about that.
And what's your purpose in this life? What are you here for? Are you here to like just be comfortable and sit on a couch and just take up fucking space? Is that your purpose in life? If that's your purpose in life, more power to you, because
yeah, I believe everybody wants to progress in some way. In some
yeah,
way. Even
and
if you
people
don't
just
wanna,
settle and they say, you know, this is enough. They convince themselves like this is enough for me. Or, I mean, some people, maybe you could be perfectly happy. You know what I mean, where you're at, but it's just like when you have that ambition, when you got that drive, when you know you could be greater than what you are currently, it's like the only person that's going to change that is you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? The only person that's going to believe in you is you. if you tell someone else about your dreams and your dreams are bigger than theirs, they're gonna shoot you down every single time.
100%.
They're going to you see it when I talk to people at work, I can see it, and that's why I don't say nothing no more. When I say you know what I mean, hopefully I can retire by the time I'm 35, out the business. You know what I mean, I'm an electrician right now.
Nah, that'll never
So,
happen.
No, you gonna be here 30 years. Da, 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 da. I'm like,
That's
all right,
what
bro,
they believe
because
they can do for
that's
themselves.
what the limits they put on themselves,
Exactly.
and they put their limits on you.
Yep.
And the only person, and that might discourage you.
100%.
That might it pisses you off. You're like, so do something about it.
Do something about it. Don't just listen to that and just don't let that discourage you, because then you're really gonna be in that position. That's what they want.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't. You know, maybe they tried. Maybe they thought they could. They didn't put that work in, or maybe they just never thought to take it further. But if you can, you know, just put that work in. Stay consistent. Stay disciplined. Have faith, and just believe in yourself and just keep going. Know that at least trying is gonna take you further than not. You know.
And I promise you, the feeling of regret is way worse than if you try your hardest and you come up short. I promise you, you're gonna be way more content, way more proud of yourself, way more like you can look yourself in the mirror, opposed to you never trying and then looking yourself in the mirror. It's almost like a disgusting feeling. It's like I'm lower. I'm a piece of trash. I'm a piece of garbage for not even try. I couldn't even try. I couldn't even try to see what would happen.
Yeah, I have one life to live. And I
One
wanted
life.
something, and I didn't even put the effort
You
in.
couldn't even try. It's incredible. You know what I mean? And it's my biggest fear. It's my biggest fear. So
Yeah.
that's the topic for today. You know, quick video.
Yeah.
Put that work in.
Do not wait for motivation.
Motivation might not come. If motivation don't come, what you gonna do?
Or don't rely on motivation.
Don't rely on motivation. You might feel motivated, and that's great. Act. Do what you're gonna do, but
When
it's
that
not always
goes
gonna
away,
be there.
yeah.
Trust me, it's gonna go away. That is not. We're human beings. Our feelings last for moments, and it's like, what are you gonna do despite what you're feeling?
When
No.
when that motivation goes away, continue to stay consistent, continue to stay disciplined, and that you might find that motivation comes back, you know?
And this is the beautiful thing, and I'm gonna just touch on this. I'm gonna add God into this equation. He gave us free will for a reason. You know what I mean? We can override our feelings. You know what I mean? We despite of how we feel. If we didn't have free will, I would just go based off how I feel at all times. You know what I mean? But you could work, and despite that, despite how you feel, you can choose. You have the choice. You have the power to change your life, and it is what it is. So
Yeah.
make the decision. What you gonna do?
Yep.
You gonna sink or swim?
Sink or swim, baby. Hope
Alright.
y'all enjoyed the vid. That's the message of the day.
That's
I'll
it.
talk to y'all boys later.
Peace.